they're always trying their best. They play every game like it's a final, basically.
Right.
Which is why they can adapt so fast. Because if stuff starts going wrong...
The Foundry last year, I was seeing a lot of Death Knight
Yeah.
still, and
Death
we
Knight
haven't
is
seen
good.
any of that yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
It's so good, we've never seen Death Knight. So anyways, I'm going to leave you to it. I'm going to let you crack on as myself and Zoo are going to cast this next upper bracket semi-final between Endpoint and Myztro RAVE. Let's see exactly who's going to start things off. It will be with RAZE. Find out who's going to take this series and meet Chicago Doggos in the upper bracket final. Already some good tri-bolt damage coming up from RAZE. It's just standing his ground and collecting all the weaponry in his arsenal. Rotating round towards the TP for the heavy, and they're already set up for it quite early. Will come up in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, there's Strogs and Athenas everywhere at the moment. A little bit of scoping out. Some drone work over here, okay.
It's quite chill with the Pika this time around, but why wouldn't you, I suppose?
It took 30 seconds to get the first kill on the map. We are on Deep Embrace, guys. This is the fastest map on the pool, essentially.
We against Myztro?
Packed. Yeah.
They realise Myztro is still in the competition. Ready. Oh, left on 4 HP, still takes out Kilson, and look at that, Wenger managed to finish Avec off. That was huge from them. And we've got the Mega and Heavy both come up almost simultaneously.
So we got the last rotation of items, and then it's going to be the first quad. This is going to be important. We do have RAZE, he's got the heavy, and he's starting to recover a bit with his HP. Wenger trying to string together some rails. Really weak. He's probably going to fall, needs to, before this squad's going to spawn. Watching Kilson, moving over here to the Endpoint players. Great damage from him. 5 seconds, got to start setting up at the moment. Wenger is going to fall. It's going to be 1v1 at the end. Can he do anything here? There's a dive in, but no, it is going to be going over to Myztro for the quad. So over on the other side of the map, we have got Endpoint taking their protections at the same time. So there's not really much of a stagger between the two spawns. We've often seen they go one after another.
I don't blame Endpoint in that 1v2 situation not going for the quad straight away, because it was just utterly pointless. You can leave yourself open and get killed instantly. His whole prerogative there was to try and do as much damage as possible before they take the quad, which is probably the best scenario for them to deal with it.
This is so slow, this game.
I know, mate. Yeah. Is this Deep Embrace or is this Molten Fools?
Precisely. Precisely. They just want to stick to their side of the map. I do feel like this is a bit of... reminds me a lot of RAZE, even on some of the fastest duel maps. And I'm talking sort of 5 years ago at this point, where he would suddenly decide that he no longer wants to move on the map.
Yeah.
And so kills would no longer happen anymore. So I'm blaming RAZE is what I'm saying.
Unbelievable. How dare you blame it, but I don't blame you at the same time.
But part of the reason that's happening is that there's no time difference between major items, there's no time difference between power-ups, so you can just split off onto your own side of the map and benefit from that. Finally getting a small exchange over here, and that is going to be RAZE capitalizing. A little bit of a return frag, still very... you can barely call it an advantage at this point for Myztro, despite them being twice the amount of kills.
Yeah, no advantage at all really from either side. Both arsenals going to come out any second now, as Avec managed to clean up Wenger and just close the gap just a tad to the deficit. Good LG coming up from Avec, going to whip out the Pika to see if he can do it furthermore, which he's actually done quite a fair amount considering the position he was in, but he goes for his doubles, clean up with the LG by Wenger, and they're looking to push him forward once again. Both perhaps are coming up any second now. It looks like RAZE and Wenger are going to be in a good position to take this, and it looks like they've decided not to contest the quad and just keep on for that protection.
So surely he can do a bit of damage now. He's got really good mobility. Can he get double power up? He can! It's going to be... Avec goes down. RAZE is super stacked, and well, if there wasn't an advantage before, then there sure as hell should be one in a moment. Can he close the gap on the players? Nice little vertical rail.
Protection.
Hello! It's a bit of traffic in that
I was
gap.
checking something else. But yeah, it was. I wasn't expecting RAZE to have the whip out the gauntlet, his trade up
you're right,
so
the protection
early on.
stuck on the wall.
Okay, that did make sense.
Yeah,
because I saw it on the map, and I was like, what's
so
going on?
confused.
And then I looked at the timer, and I was just like, hold on a second, something's not right here. But okay, we were talking about, you know, the delays in Fernando. Of course, the power-ups are still roughly around the same time, but the fact that it was left so fast, uncontested, is just ridiculous.
So he's had a minute of power-ups. 60 seconds left till the next one.
Yeah, it took so long. I thought there was something wrong with the HUD. It got.
But because normally there's one circle or something on your HUD, right? So you don't really pay attention. I genuinely don't think they notice.
I don't think so either.
I'd be very, very curious to have that asked afterwards. If we get a word from Myztro at the end, if they win the series, obviously, then Linus, I'm calling you out there.
Wenger left on 13 HP top mid. He's decided to kind of stay his ground, but it's going to be trying to clean up RAVE. But even though he's on 13 HP, he was getting a good trade onto AVIC with Kilson trading straight back at him. But look at the lead there, it's just extending slowly but surely, 19 to 10 after 5 minutes. It could go to the time limit considering how slow both his teams are playing.
Oh, hello. Trying to get the bump. And Wenger tries to do the same in return, but there's two that go towards Endpoint. Oh, the rockets can't connect quite.
Oh, and he's going to try and go for this one. Will he be able to? He's still trying to take it down for the LG. Isn't able to. But let's take a listening on the teams to see how they're discussing with that quad.
I rallied 3 times. He's weak. Out of the map. They double red me. Strug is weak though. Okay. Rail Fina. Still one nugget.
We need 33. I took power up at 7 by the way.
I got lower.
Not upper. One more heavy.
So even though they lost the quad, at least it went off the map to not put it in
the double rail, right?
Yeah.
Not too tilted at that point during that time for the Myztro players, but there is a bit of a gap closing at the moment. Might re-extend here. Athena so weak on the side of Endpoint. We're doing good damage. This is very, very nice from Kelson. Yeah, he really needs to try and hold on to his life though, and finally that light armor spawns, so he can withstand more than just a single rail shot.
Even with the 4.5 seconds difference between the two power-ups, at least whoever picks up the quad first, they know exactly where their opponents are going to be positioned and try and pounce on them or create some kind of strategic influence with their aggression. But it looks like Kills still holding out to mid angle. They're well aware that both players are hanging around heavy. But look at the rail coming up from Wenger now, just adding another to the tally. It's another rail from AVIC, but Wenger just sweeps on in down the murder hole, clears them up with rockets.
And back in time for the heavy that's going to be spawning in a moment. It's amazing we've got 7 minutes of play and there's 4 seconds difference between the item spawns.
Incoming
and that applies to the major items and the power-ups.
incoming protection.
Pretty crazy considering.
Who's going to push over towards quad? It looks like Endpoint are slightly better position at the moment. So Alan's got it. Good heavy machine gun damage. Can he put pressure? Oh, the rails! Can he get another shot? He's got to get out of there a little bit. He has got the mega health, so he can get out of the fight and now re-engage if he wants to.
Oh,
brilliant
he was debating a little bit, but he decided to back away, and he did back away at the perfect time, especially with the mega popping up. At that stage, quad running out very shortly. Mega and Terry come out at 15. Good way to finish it on Crazy, even though he's at around 5 seconds of protection left, but it's going to do some justice if he stays alive and whips out the rail. Great stuff from AVIC now, just adding more towards the scoreline, now making it a 2-frag deficit.
It has closed down tremendously. Only one between them. Rail fired by Wenger. 14 health left for AVIC. Wenger trying to get the shot. He's chasing him. Still finds him with the beaker. The lead is now being taken by Endpoint. What a shift in circumstances.
Certainly has been indeed. Skills are getting a little scuffle with Wenger. Wenger will win that bout. You notice they've been hanging around the heavy for the majority of his game. Apart from when the power-ups are coming up, of course. Mega's been up for quite a while. It could be purposely delaying it, but instead it's now almost in sync once again. As we're approaching that 9-minute mark. Just using that beacon to feed himself info to gather exactly what is going to be occurring on the side of Endpoint. And you can see that one is going to be hanging around the power-up and the other player will be around the Mega.
Wenger just fishing for a little bit of information in the top parts. Only 10 points of health. Surely he's going to go down. There we go. There's been a push in from Endpoint to get some control on the heavy. This is a nice little maneuver that we've had from Endpoint. Crazy under pressure down below. Can he get much done? Wenger's pushed a little bit. RAVE tries to get back, but it's not really worked for him, and finally that rail comes firing through. Kilson goes down. We have got the power-up spawning in a second. RAVE's there. I think Avek's trying to do some damage from the side, but RAVE has got himself the quad.
Oh, and now they've picked up the quad, they can now have that aggression to try and put a stop, or at least do a little damage while they've got that protection. But we do have another listening with the lads on the stage to see how they're going to do with this quad and protection.
Okay. Yeah. One is at Mega.
26.
27.
Upper is up.
I got upper. Lower is up.
One rocket.
I got lower too.
One heavy. Lamp.
Fuck. Heavy force with lane, heavy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on it. 56 it is.
Coming one. One on top. Both are rail. Mega next. One was top.
Okay, got the other. Upper soon.
Either.
Oh, fuck. Upper's left.
There's that coordination coming in to get themselves back over to deal some pressure over to Myztro. Endpoint doing really well with that last power-up. They maybe didn't manage to string together too many kills, but the amount of map control they gained from that. Oh, RAVE goes down. Kilson cannot afford to take a rail shot, vulnerable to quite a lot. Manages to get himself onto the heavy, so he is well rejuvenated.
And as you may have noticed, it's the first time this game when the power-ups are now segregated enough to have both power-ups be able to contest it. So this is going to be an interesting way to see how things go. But the Myztro RAVE, even though they're almost tying things up, if they pick up the quad first and contest the protection straight afterwards, they could just run away with this. It could potentially be the last power-up, depending on how this is going to go. Of course, we know we've got one more around that 14-minute mark. But if it gets that stage, that's going to be another story, because we've gone from quite... Actually, it's been quite a slow, methodical approach for the entirety.
It really has.
God knows what the other half's going to be like.
You were right earlier saying that we might get to the time limit, but here we've got Avek, who's got a power-up to work with. He's got 2 seconds left until the protection. He should be able to get both. This is huge for Endpoint. 40 to 32. There's pretty much all the time limit left on the protection, at least. How many more can he string together? With the Strog, he's just got so much more just general mobility to work with around the map. He must know exactly where they're hiding. There's another there that's RAVE behind. Kelson will be screaming at him, telling him exactly where he is. He can't find any more rail shots, and he's just going to slow down at the end of protection, and he's got himself that heavy armor and an amazing pixel rail as well.
And this is going to be the next question on the minds of Endpoint. Do you want to speed up dictate the pace and speed up the tempo of this game so they make it so the next power-up won't even spawn? Or do you want to continue to play how you're playing in terms of that methodical approach and leave it time till the next power-up does spawn? It seems like they have decided to speed up the tempo, which I completely agree with, and now increasing their lead by 12. Not something I expected. But you've got to remember, Myztro RAVE have been pretty much doing the same thing in terms of their strategy around the heavy for like the entirety of this map.
It has been fairly static tactically for them. But this is the Myztro's map pick.
Yep.
So Endpoint taking this to be pretty significant, and it certainly looks like we're getting that way. Benga does get some pressure on. Still 30 seconds until the quad. But are we even going to get there? There's 4 kills needed for Endpoint. Do they just want to mount the pressure as much as they can now? RAVE really can't afford to die. Is he going to just take the risks? That shotgun from medium range is not going to do anything. Kilson gets an easy one, makes it 3 to go for Endpoint to take map 1 in these semis.
Quad is coming up in the next 10 seconds. This needs to be grabbed by Myztro, and if they don't, and also contest the protection, then it's going to be all over here. As they literally go for the 5, and RAVE does manage to take him down on the LG, so quads will go in favour of Myztro, but RAVE needs to try and get the protection as soon as possible. It's only a few seconds left. They need to try and contest it, but it's decided to circulate around. All members of Endpoint are at the protection area, so they need to take this fight. They've already taken a lot of damage going up to the heavy. If he takes out the protection and grabs it, he can completely change things on its head. But the problem is, there's only about 10 to 12 seconds of quad left.
Kilson's got to stay alive somehow. He really can't afford to take any damage, and RAVE just cannot chase down for those frags. There we go.
But I think that was enough delay.
Well, we've got a bit of protection to work with. It is 48 to 40. We have seen Myztro RAVE do some incredible comebacks already, but Benga, he goes down. Only 1 more kill is needed from Endpoint. They're going to be rushing RAVE. 5 health to go. Are they going to be able to find it? The kill, Kilson! There's the pile. Need to go for those flick rails. He's so vulnerable, and there's the last rail shot. Avec with the final kill. Endpoint win. It is 1-0.
Yeah, I called it earlier. It was one of those situations where there's about 80 to 90 seconds left for the power-ups, and they had two choices. They raised it with the quad around the LG behind that one pillar. That was ridiculous.
Exactly.
Like, what, 5 to 10 seconds, something like that, back and forth with the TP.
Precisely. I really thought that Endpoint were struggling to get into the map at the beginning. It was almost like both teams were sort of being very reserved, but to me that's Crazy and Wenger are sort of super happy to do that. They eventually got themselves a bit of an advantage. And then I was worried that Endpoint weren't going to be able to get back into it, but everything we've been seeing this weekend has been just comebacks galore. Like, they've been happening over and over, and Endpoint just completely excelled. As soon as they'd made it back, they carried that momentum forward. And
it's a good reason why Razy and Wenger were both hanging around the heavy majority of the game. If they got any frags during that time, then whoever spawns on Endpoint, they could be denied a rail instantly without even a train of thought. And technically the Rockets as well, considering their positioning. So consider they had that point in the side of the map, and the fact that the protection must have been sitting there for 30 seconds waiting for someone to grab, but yeah, that was unreal. That was probably the longest time we can ever see a power-up just sat there.
And it was reachable. It wasn't like it was in a broken position or something where you had to wait for it to time out. And Razy looked at it as if he'd only just noticed. And that means that when he was running the quad round beforehand, if that's true, then he probably thought that he took a fourth of the damage of normal.
Yeah.
So it's a good job that he didn't need to worry about that.
His thing is that protection sprite even sitting there, or is that just me like being completely unaware? That's why I was questioning it earlier. I was like, I saw the countdown for the protection. I was like, protection being taken. So where is it?
I mean, that might have been a surprise for Endpoint too. That like, oh crap, there's another power up.
Is there a second protection we don't know about?
We've got to chill even more. But I mean, that was the main highlight really for Myztro. After that, that's when it started to go a bit more sour for them. And I mean, I saw at the end there was 28 kills, I think, for Avec. He had a phenomenal game there. But there's no time to rest, Lethal, because we're going to map 2.
Yeah, we're heading straight into Vale as Endpoint's taking the first map. They drew first blood, and now we're going to head over to see how things are going to go this time around. Both of them go with the Ranger, and we've got the kill on Myztro, and for Endpoint, it's going to be the Sorlag. We're going to see how this is going to go, and maybe switch out some champions halfway through.
Oh, yeah, I assume that Razy's playing the Keel, something that he got quite comfortable with. I think this is what we saw actually when we had Cheetahs versus Chicago Doggos. They had the same thing. One of them had the Keel, one of them had the Sorlag.
Yeah, that was right, and Chicago Doggos were the ones with the kill, and they made some incredible plays with the kill. It was worth its weight in gold, absolutely.
Guys, it's 30 seconds in. This isn't a big map. Can we get some... Come on. Let's get into this and get some kills.
We'd have a frag in a duel by now.
I just click my fingers at them. Thank you.
Deary me. Kilson now lowered himself down to 28 HP, taking so much damage at that angle. And trying to stay alive, but Razy finds him. Managed to get the rocket jump up, but Avec is sitting there with the LG. Doesn't manage to get it, but it's delivered a huge amount of damage and ends up trading with Razy. So considering he wasn't able to pick up the heavy, he did distribute a lot of damage from that angle. But let's see how they're going to try and break the setup for the quad.
Kilson is absolutely stacked at the moment. Got to be careful about that whole combo. Wow, Vega got an enormous amount of damage just then. And Vega's got a second to work with. Razy with the splash rockets at the end. And a little rail to flick onto Kilson too. So 5-1. It's been super quiet in the first minute of play. Razy denies that pickup. Oh, and it's so patient.
Brax are just coming through here. He's actually TP'd in to see if he could try and take him out. He knows how weak Razy is. It's just the armor that's going to help his backside just a little bit. But it seems like it's not going to be the case as he's now doing extremely well for his quad. Again, Myztro with his only lead. Let's see if they can maintain it in comparison to what happened in that Deep Embrace game.
Are we going to get a super quiet next 85 seconds of play here?
Probably.
Who took that? Did Endpoint get that steal? I didn't quite see because there was so much damage exchanged afterwards.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I think they tried to take it. I'm not sure if they actually did, considering with the all placement. Raze is now going to nice double for his troubles there. Now 2.5 minutes in, it's down 9-2, and Myztro is just trying to make sure they keep this lead. And I think the last game, the start of play which we witnessed, we can tell it's not their cup of tea.
Raze a bit weak. Trying to stay back a little bit and get damage from the side and just let Wenger take the damage for him.
That was nice of him.
Yeah. I think that mega health spawning, well, it did just spawn, but the timing was just a little bit off. It was a pretty brave rocket jump to have made. This is good from Myztro. They suffered quite a lot in the second part of Deep Embrace, but they've really gotten into Molten well. This a strategy that they're very comfortable with. And can they continue to manage this chaos? Heavy, though, has just been taken by Endpoint. There's a huge amount of stack on both of those players, although it looks like Avec being punished quickly. Let's move over now to the protection, which is coming up. Wenger just getting stuck in, dancing on Kilson's head, and Avec. Oh, Avec didn't manage to get it in the end. It was Razy. Came out seemingly of nowhere to pick up the protection. Not a massive stack himself, and he looks like he's just waiting for this Heavy to spawn.
I'm quite surprised because whoever's got the team who actually gets inside the power-up with first, they've got a considerable advantage to actually be able to collect and keep that power-up, considering the choke points and the narrow angles they can keep hold of with rockets. But Razer trying to do as much as he can to do what he must with that protection, but it's starting to now prioritise the mega and just wait to see how the situation is going to present itself.
It looks like it was very much just to keep map control. I don't think they were after loads and loads of kills or
denial.
Yeah. All frag from Avec, double kill there for Endpoint. Is that going to give them the map control that they need to get into this game a little bit more?
Good LG coming out from Razy there, taking him down on that LG stairs. Avec just waiting and baiting for him to come for the TP. As he has picked up the mega.
Yeah, you've got it already. He was just holding steady. Nice rails there, Wenger.
But Kilson just on the low ground currently, waiting to go for that heavy, but he's waiting to see if any of his opponents are going to be coming through and decides to hold the angle while Avec grabs that. Good heavy machine gun coming up from Avec. Now both players are going to be pushing through to see if they can turn up Razy. Razy's already cleaned up Kilson, but Avic's going to finish the job and get a very important trade. As Wenger just comes out of nowhere, comes in with a machine gun and cleans up.
That was a great effort from Endpoint to get that rotation over from Heavy to the Mega Health, moving around as a unit, but the kills happened quite far apart, so Wenger was able to get back into the fight. We have got the second quad damage spawning pretty soon, and we're able to actually go into this in the team comms and see how they're setting up for this quad damage.
He's weak, you can take. Wait, need you? Drop down here, drop down here. He's up here. Like it's up. I need help on the
my God.
sandwich.
One was LG. Red rail one. Kill that rail. One, two row, two tunnel. Kill him.
Elbows, I think.
No, I'm elbow. He's LG. Behind this pillar. He went LG.
Yeah, he went.
You took Heavy, right?
Yeah, I did.
Good display there, back and forth with that power-up. It was in each other's hands, but Kilson coming up that jump pad to put a stop to Razy with that quad. It's a huge play in order to trying to close the gap ever so slightly.
I think Wenger was just a little bit anxious there, being 50 HP roughly with the Ranger. They couldn't get much done with it, so a chance to split the scores a little bit further, but actually Endpoint bringing it back a bit.
And you can see that Myztro early on were trying to dictate the pace and trying to make it more than set in stone, but now it's become a little bit different. It's starting to become a bit more of a stalemate situation, but we've seen more situations now becoming a lot more chaotic, especially for these items, not even just a power-up anymore. The trades are coming up back and forth, but Myztro are going to take those trades all day.
Kelson, super stack at the moment. That Mega Health's taken recently, so what part of the map are they going to want to control? Avec is sat there waiting. I think there might be a bit of a miss time going on. He's so weak, he needs something. Is he going to sacrifice his life just to try and get some damage output? Very good tribal damage.
Kilson just left on 9 HP and a dream at this stage, and Wenger's going to put a close to that. Been on 5 HP for so long, and Avik does take down Crazy and also cleans up Wenger. This is going to be absolutely huge, along with the protection, and already finds his first opponent as he's heading down towards those hourglasses, dropping down to the rail jump pad. This is just insane.
Avik, he's got about half the time left on protection, so he wants to push in. He needs to find a way to get close the gap, support Kilson. It's like Kilson's doing okay on his own. He managed to frag Wenger. He might be committing too hard here. His protection's running out pretty soon, but has he timed this perfect? And Kilson finishes the job. That was really, really nicely done. Where does Avik want to end up though, now that the power-up's gone? The rotation of the major items, still 10-15 seconds away.
Endpoint do have the lead, but a little bit low on stack, just waiting for these next items. His Mega will be up shortly, followed by the Heavy. Looks like Myztro could be in a good position now to contest both. Managed to get the Mega. Now let's see how they're going to even approach. They're not even going to bother with the Heavy yet. Quad's up in a minute.
I thought they were going to move into the other room, but they decided they didn't want to bother with that. They're keeping that higher ground. And they just want to stop the damage coming to them. They've been suffering a little bit. They had an advantage. They've been losing it. Let's get some control.
Good rail there from Razy. He's managed to hit another one, and Wenger's able to orb in there to take down Avik. So it's only Avik left standing, but still contemplating what to do. And a nice little bit of damage there. 27 and the 47 from that last tri-bolt from Wenger. This is now just continuing, and you're talking about height advantage in the high ground. They've been having that for at least 30 to 60 seconds and just maintaining it throughout the course of this. And Kilson does take down Wenger, but look at his quads come up in the next 12 seconds. Who is in position? Both Razy and Wenger are down below, but Kilson could drop down at any time. Use that preemptive spit to make sure they continue to take down as well as push on forward, but Wenger does take down Avik. Managed to hit it, but Kilson takes down Wenger with the trade. And it looks like they will manage to pick that up, and Endpoint could at some stage increase the lead with that quad. Let's see what Avik can do with it.
He's looking for the rail shot. He really has very little in the way of weapons. He's now got the lightning gun, but decides he's going to back off actually and stack up. He didn't want to push through the teleporter. At the end, but Razy's up there as well, so he manages to fight back a little bit. There's only 2 kills between them. He has enough time to sort of get himself into a good position, but not really going to be able to push out further. And Heavy's up in a second, so this is a nice spot for them to finish on. Is he going to make that jump across?
Yeah, they'll definitely take that trade. As you saw with Wenger and Razy on the top TP earlier, they're baiting Avik with that quad. But Wenger's going to do as much as he can. And Razy does clean out Avik and still trying to go through. Both of them at the bottom TP, flying back in again as actually ends up in a trade. Going to TP once again, and Wenger tried as much damage as he can, left on 42 HP. And still, finally, Kilson does take down Wenger as he's on such low health for the last 10 seconds.
Finally picked up a little bit of a weapon that he can work with. Avik the TP through with the orb. Repositioning himself very, very nicely, maintaining that pressure, but Wenger coming out swinging with a couple more rails. Just trying to keep themselves close, because we are 4 minutes from time limit. We're definitely going for time limit at this point, rather than to the 50 frags.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But we do have a listen-in with the teams to see how they're feeling as we go to this matchup before protection.
Ranger, I cannot really take it. Red Ranger again. He fucked up! Heavy is up still, and then Mega and then Prot. Going Prot. I got Mega. I'm fighting Zorlog. Ranger is dead. Zorlog is weak.
Protection spawn. Enemy has the protection.
Oh, what? Around the corner, he's on Heavy.
Machine gun one. I need help for Heavy. I'm on my way. I stole Heavy. Ranger dead, chasing Zorlog. He's on Mega, we have him before. And again. Zorlog is not healthy.
Nice, concise comms, but calm comms coming out there, considering the high pressure situation we're in at the moment. Endpoint still leading by 2, and I'm still surprised how they managed to get that protection, considering the lack of weapon we've had. That kills out is a very important double.
Yeah, we've got 2 fresh stacks though appearing from Myztro. The double rails are coming out. So they have a chance to reapply some of the pressure at the moment, but honestly, looking at Kilson and Avic's health and armor, well, I guess Avic is suffering a little bit, but Kilson acting as the anchor at the moment. He is going to push through. Ridiculous health shots. But that mega health is no more. They just have to hold on to this lead now for 2 more minutes. How hard can it be?
Well, we still got time for quad, so this is going to be extremely important. This is going to decide
right?
the winner in this second map. And Kilson just been popping off with this rail. His aim skill in the last few minutes has just been ridiculous. And Razor does manage to get one, and gets up with the pineapple straight after. Huge play. I'm sure 40's going to be proud of that as well. Seeing kill more often compared to last year. And now we've got quad coming up in 15 seconds, and Myztro with a healthy stack.
So Razor needs to get in a position now. He's got himself a lightning gun. No rockets are slightly annoying for him. Is there a power up there? It is used at the end. Then good pressure. He manages to get the double kill. I think they've locked down this vital quad damage. Let's go over to Razy in that case and see, can he chase? No lightning up, but that's it. The rail, that's going to do all the damage needed. We are 2 frags away. We're 1 minute and 14 seconds. Now he's got the trifecta to work with. It's surely about pushing it. I cannot believe that he is going with close-range rail shots at this point. Right, he's going to give away the mega health and say, right, surely to push in, level it out. Oh, it's taking a ton of damage. He needs to find some health. That heavy's going to help pad the damage from the poison. We are at 43-43. Myztro RAVE are desperate to get the lead going into the last 50 seconds. They are a map behind. If they lose, Endpoint are on match point.
Oh, Razor doesn't get to rocket damage in, but Kilson finishes off the LG. Benga does take down Kilson, but Avic Ben trades out straight afterwards. 35 seconds left. Mega is up. Heavy's coming up next. Will Myztro have time to contest it and even have the weaponry to contest it?
I thought I was just baiting him there, but actually it doesn't have a good stack. There's the push. 46-44. Benga's got to think about what's valuable at this point. He needs to put himself in a position to get kills, but he's not able to do so. We are 3 away. Razy does get something back. Can he get enough damage? Because Avic is just hitting like a truck at the moment.
Goodness.
He is not going down whatsoever. The maximum damage output, and with a couple of seconds to go, Endpoint have done it. They put themselves 2-0 up here in the winner bracket semi-finals. I don't know. I think I would have certainly expected a 1-1 at minimum at this point. If not Myztro, I would have certainly leaned closer to what Ince was saying in terms of Myztro being the favourites and showing that they're the favourites.
Yeah, I completely agree with you though. There needs to be a style change now for Myztro. We know what they can deliver with the pedigree of skill they have behind them. It's about actually being able to coordinate it perfectly. There's already a lot of damage that's been taken. Mega is set up. They've denied it only by a few seconds, but of a few seconds needed.
They didn't get a kill though.
Rail.
That would have been too Larry having a kill in the first 10 seconds.
Oh, of course, yeah. That would have been ludicrous, wouldn't it?
They're not about that. They're not about that. Oh, wow. Maximum tribal damage. It's going to be Razy spilling first blood, and then Kilson falls shortly afterwards. This is the positive type of news they needed. They are taking a bit more of initiative. There's some pushes happening here. And well, we have got sliding champions all over the place with Anarchies and, with Slashes and Strugs. And Endpoint now also have a bit of stack themselves to work with.
This is what we expected from Myztro half an hour ago, and
I think so.
They need to continue on with this consistency. I can understand planning, the plan of action and how they want to go about things, but sometimes you just have to take the initiative and just sync it with your chemistry. So
but this is
a little bit more difficult.
This is what's amusing, based on the champion setup that we've got over here. Maybe this is going to be the most outrageous and aggressive map that we've had so far. It certainly could lend itself to that. They're able to reposition themselves so quickly now. And
they've got the spacing behind it on top of things.
So we got the quad spawning in 10 seconds time. Kilson falls, but Avic is trying to ready himself. He's taken a lot of damage. This looks like it's surely going to be a Myztro first power up. And it's a while till there's mega health. Does Razy not want to sort of aggress a little further? We do have the heavy that's just been taken.
I'm going to make the assumption that because they've got the rail room covered, they're expecting to get a couple of rails onto RAVE before we can push on forward, which is a little bit understandable. He's going to push it quite late, so if he does dive, then that's fine. The quad damage is only going to be for a few seconds until he makes an engagement, but...
They got nothing from it. I think it was really smart from Endpoint. They realized that the rail room is the obvious hiding point, so later on when they're expecting, like, we're going to move down to the Mega Health, I thought, brilliant, really, really intelligent. I mean, I do think a little bit that Myztro took too long to make those rotations. They could be up by 1 or 2 more kills at this point, but they're still in the lead, and that's not a bad thing. And the game has actually slowed down again.
It just seems to me, but if they've got the angles covered, if he pushed from LG stairs and both of them have got rail, then they could lose the quad quite quickly. The reason why RAVE decided pushing so late is that if he does lose the quad, it will just have a few seconds, and then when he comes up to the respawn, they're going to have no time to even clean up Wenger, which is understandable. It's again, it's a very situational, as you rightly mentioned, but the heavy has been picked up. As Wenger just goes an engagement with RAVE, and RAVE does win that. RAVE actually has his own 1v1 with Wilson and defeats him onto the Mega, and is railable, but does hit him with a rail of his own, as both of them are going at it, but Kilson starts to pop in, say hello, whip out the rail of his own, and then cleans up RAVE, and then Wenger's now taking Kilson out straight afterwards, but RAVE is trying to get another trade. Will he be able to? No, he doesn't. Wenger comes up with another rail.
Very scrappy 20 seconds just then. They want to settle down a little bit. We have that's the Mega Health, the last major item to get taken before protection spawns. Not going to chase through that teleport. It does. Keeps it quite late, goes back through. Doesn't have the rockets to easily guard that teleporter exit. But it is going to be RAVE who eventually gets himself onto that protection. And I think he's getting fired from behind, but completely ignores it. And again, it continues going from good to better to brilliant for Myztro with their power-up work.
Yeah, this is just, in terms of control, I know the score is a little bit closer maybe to the Predator. It's so much cleaner from what we saw previously. And when we witnessed their first coordinated push, that's exactly what we want to see. Some strategic aggression coming out in sync. See a little bit more of that, maybe a lot more, considering they're 2 maps down. If you were just doing this in the series, this is our second upper bracket final in this best of 5. And so currently up 2-0, and Myztro are looking to make this comeback happen. And this is a great start to witness it on map number 3.
But they can hold control a little more themselves now. RAVE is going to need a little bit of help. Oh my god. So much damage in just a fraction of a second just there. RAVE gets the kill. Oh, close range rails, and it's still going to be Wenger popping off with them. 18-7. I think this might be the biggest lead we've had in the series within a map. Am I right there? Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
I agree. Yeah, I think they had a considerable lead at one point in Deep Embrace, but that was very late on. But this is probably the largest we've had so far, definitely.
Certainly early game.
You see with the stacks, Myztro have a tiny advantage to the stack, but Heavy will be up in 5 seconds. But with the timing segregation, it means they will have time to go for the Mega straight afterwards. But in the end, both Wenger and RAVE took both players down on Endpoint for their troubles. Missed rail from Wenger, but they've already done quite a lot. RAVE took down Kilson in the meantime, but you see, RAVE actually still got a bit of stack from that last engagement as the Beaker was coming straight through the TP.
That was a brilliant little combo there between the both players. RAVE, he is on the power-up. It was barely challenged in the end by Endpoint. They died just a couple of seconds beforehand, and see again, the coordination's just not quite there for Kilson and Avik. This is a map pick by Myztro though, and they clearly look a lot more comfortable here. And this is going to give them confidence to go into the rest of the series. I mean, at this point, I know when we were watching Team Bobby yesterday, you would dare say that a comeback's not on.
Yeah, this is it.
Is it comeback on here?
I don't know. I was going to say Multiple was a little bit more different, but because it's one of the largest maps here, you've seen how they've been working with the power-ups, with the quads, and they're not really getting the maximum from it, are they? So if it was on a smaller map, maybe it was on Vale, maybe a different race, maybe a little bit of a different story. At least they can flip the map back and forth, but the frags aren't going to come as quickly compared to those maps.
I mean, and surely at this point you just run for the rest of the game if you're scared of a comeback, right?
Yeah, yeah, you would, but they just don't seem to be letting up. Like, why this is a 9-day difference. Why didn't we see this in map 1?
I mean, a completely valid question. I feel like the map geometry fits them a bit better, maybe. But I think the biggest part is that there's a switch between them and RAVE. I think they are taking more initiative. They're being a little bit more aggressive. It almost feels weirdly like they were giving too much respect to start with.
Yeah.
Now there's no respect.
It's like, actually, do you know what about that?
20 frag difference between Myztro, RAVE, and Endpoint. This is significant. Obviously, Endpoint can afford to lose a map. They're not going to be stressing too much. They're going to move to Awoken next. That's going to be their map pick, and they can go back to their comfort zone. If this is what they have to suffer through, then they'll suffer.
Yeah, you can easily tell that with Endpoint, if they lose this, there's going to be a certain mentality going to map number 4. And again, RAVE with this potential. They've had every single power-up, I believe.
I mean, I'm not really sure what's going on with the power-up setups from Endpoint. Because it's also very scrappy fights that are going on beforehand, but they're losing out on these, and no one really seems to be close to the power-up by the time that it is up.
Look at it, RAVE doing everything he can to distribute damage onto Endpoint. But the great thing about Wenger is that he realised how weak Kilson was from RAZE's rockets earlier and managed to rotate back around and get a very important flank. But 32-9, I think this is the largest margin we've actually seen for that entire weekend. If they win by at least 22 frags or 23 frags, then that's basically a good example.
I think it was 50-28 map 1 with Chicago Doggers versus Basita. I think that was the biggest, and that was right at the end of the game. But we're like mid-game at the moment, and that's the same gap that we're seeing. So yeah, this, but very much so.
Well, I can tell you what, Molten Falls is going to be banned for Myztro.
I mean, then you just get picked first, right?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is the pick your poison at that stage. So still up by 21. This could be, you know, considering we're witnessing the largest map, we may not even be reaching the time limit here. I'm trying to get as much rocket damage as possible, but RAZE and Wenger just evading it like the plague and didn't really tank too much. It's going to give them a chance now to push on forward again. Great coordination, and the bait and switching is so crucial for them here. They do have 6 minutes left, but I don't think we're going to make it here. Quad coming up in 25 seconds.
I mean, this is the point where I say we're now in trash time.
Yeah,
this is, you can kind of see that Endpoint aren't really making a concerted effort to re-strategize, regroup, and reimagine how they can come back in this map.
They probably were talking about that before.
Yeah, I'm genuinely not surprised. Or they're talking about what went wrong, or something like that. I think we can actually go in and listen to the teams talk, so let's try and do that.
Mega next, you take.
Yep.
Armor take. Rail, other guy.
Reward will be
Banana, hold him if you can.
I'm sorry, I went your way.
That's fine. I'm pushing LG. Stay on heavy. LG is going rail.
One shotgun.
Taking heavy. Other guy's shotgun as well.
Yeah. It's camping TP, probably.
Dead.
Awesome shots.
Mega next, you take.
Yep.
I'm guarding LG.
One with me.
I can't help. Nice.
One pushing, maybe you.
Yes.
One
I took
rocket,
Mega.
one rocket.
23. You set up for heavy.
Yeah.
One rail.
One rail.
Behind rail.
So 47-14 now. This is just a complete whitewash. Very one-sided going on Molten Falls, and RAZE was still able to deliver so much damage. I thought he was actually going to stay alive. It got that bad as Avik was flying down, but only got one more frag left remaining. Wenger's got a great stat to continue on this aggression, but that's going to be it. The scoreline is just
just
the biggest score.
Bring themselves back to where they were in the previous maps, right? It's a full, complete reset. You forget about what's happened, and I mean, part of it's the coordination. I think that's it. It felt like halfway through Molten, they stopped really even thinking about it. They need to get in sync again.
You certainly do. Resync is absolutely required. There's about a 5.5 to 6 second difference already this early on between the items.
There's a slight difference in the champions we're getting. We've got a Ranger and Athena from Myztro. We have got a Strong and Athena from Endpoint. There's an early fight.
I feel like there's been two differences with Myztro over the past two maps. We've noticed that they're collapsing in sync, which we never saw in terms of their coordination before, but their aim skill has definitely improved over time.
Yeah. desperate for some help. And then can't get those rockets landed, and he is getting hit from two sides. But we are 2 for 2, and a 1v1 remains with Wenger and Kilson. That Kilson's going to win. I think they tried to... Okay, nice little maneuver there from RAVE. We are going to be set up now for the first quad. The major items have been consumed. Myztro are in early position, but they can surely expect a last-second dash now from Endpoint.
Endpoint do have a slight stack advantage, but Myztro have that defensive setup. But very important kill from RAVE, but the trade does come out. Venger's trying to stay alive, and it's just on. It's still continuing on. Sadly misses those two rails, but if he hit them both, would have made a monumental difference here, and Kilson does get the quad. He actually misses it! That was such an important rail to miss.
Venger's still got a stack.
Venger is still trying to fly on forward with that quad and try and get the most out of it. And why not look at the stack advantage he has? Might as well continue making his push. Still got about 7 to 10 seconds now with this quad to try and make a difference.
Gotta hit your rails, always gotta hit your rails. 6 for 6 at the moment, with no more seconds left on this quad. Get out of my way.
Come on, Maisie, stop body blocking.
Wenger, I think, offering the heavy up. We're just gonna have to take it. So, someone take it. There we go. RAVE has. RAVE's gonna get a double kill. Thank you very much for that, Wenger.
Considering the stake he has currently, but Wenger just doing so much damage, and RAVE managing to clean up on like, what, 10, 15 HP, looks like something like that.
Well, I feel like we're back to sort of ordinary 2v2 now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's gone fast, it's gone furious. Only a couple of minutes into the game. This is what we expected.
And this is what, as viewers and casters, this is what we've been hoping for as well. As we're just approaching the 3-minute mark, Myztro do have that 3-frag lead, looking to try and make it 4 considering the amount of rocket damage he's getting out, but there has been another kill coming on the other side of things, and RAVE managed to get a very, very important double. Mega is up and just been collected, protection up to 30.
Oh, wonderful shot there from RAVE. Incredible rails that we're getting. Another player. Watch out for rockets. The orb doesn't manage to get much damage done. Still managing to get the exchange in time. We are 15 seconds away from protection. Kilson is holding steady. Amek is going to let him have that one. Pushing through that choke point is so difficult, but he needs to help his teammate. Rail miss. He's going to go for the mega help. Where's Amek going to spawn? He needs to come there and fight for the protection. Amek's there in time, 44 HP. He needs help here. He's got barely anything to work with. And he gets pummeled away. Can someone get that protection? Is that possible there?
No, I don't think so. He might be able to protect.
Is someone going to try?
He might be able to get it with considering the hitbox.
If you got an orb, if you have an orb, you can do it.
True, true. Or the grapple, yep.
So it might only be RAVE that can get it.
It's still up. It's still there.
Is it?
I'm sure it is, yeah. But do they know? Or maybe they do know but realise that they can't get it.
I think it's disappeared now. I think it's gone.
Yeah, now it's respawned, yeah.
Did one of them try to get it and die?
I wouldn't blame him for trying.
I think so.
Would.
Yeah, I mean it was worth a shot, right? Why does it always happen in Myztro games as well?
I don't know. I have no idea. Do you know, I've given up even questioning it. But Kilson has picked up the Mega. Pika comes in, thanks to RAVE, managed to help extend the lead. Only by 3, mind you. Made that 4. RAVE is just been on par, and great rail from Kilson too, as the machine gun time is actually quite a lot.
I love that Endpoint have managed to get back in this quickly. Like, it's as if the last map didn't happen for them.
Pretty much.
Completely focused. Wenger with a nice double though. Can't lose your focus from that. Brilliant work from Wenger.
Great rails coming from RAVE. Wenger now here to support, to keep RAVE alive, but he said, no, I'm fine, I'll be on cleanup duty as well with RAVE on that last kill. Now only 3
did not realise it was there.
I didn't realise it was there as well, and there's going to trade come out for Kilson, but they'll take that trade, and now we're going to have a listen in to see how these teams are going to try and jump in for the quad.
One rock there, Mega. I need you. Come towards me, come towards me. Heavy first. I don't know when exactly though. Should be soonish, in like 10 seconds maybe. We're gonna need to waste time to play it safe.
Impressive timing.
They don't have rail. Yep. I took it now, it's 24. Okay. Check banana. Got one. Come towards me, take Naga. Take Naga, take Naga, take Naga.
Yeah.
1T. I'm guarding Rocket, yeah? They don't have res still. One nail gun. I'm pushing nail gun.
Coming in for another pass.
Red him. He's weak. I read him as well. Use machine gun or LG.
Yes, fucking peeker.
Teams are tied.
I love the fact that even without knowing the timing, he's just like, it's in about 10 seconds, and he was exactly right. I just love that by instinct, by feel. Just by feel, the players, they just know that much information. But not bad work. Myztro were slightly down, now they're slightly up. So we're sort of heading towards a map 5 at this point, but there's a lot still to happen.
I think we are, and I think we could, but now Avik and Kilson are stepping their game up a little bit, and look at that rail again. Session will be coming up in 30 seconds. Mega will be coming up shortly as well, but it looks like they're trying to prioritize the kills. So they kill the 10 HP, but Avik goes for it anyway. Wenger gets a very important frag, and RAVE finishes up Kilson straight afterwards. And now they've got full map control. They can deny the rail, and it's a matter of how they're going to try and get this protection, or at least contest it in some way.
10 seconds away. RAVE's going to want that heavy armor. He's so low on HP, but uses his passive to stack himself up a little bit. RAVE is on the protection. Slight frag advantage. They got the mega health to work with. Oh. Kilson manages to get the denial, but he is going to fall afterwards. I'm just not sure if is that worth it in the end of it. Still losing your life regardless. Avik's going to be trying to find a way to escape. There's got the bush. You got rockets. You can get around the corner. You're not going to take too much damage, but some good knockdown damage. Oh my god.
It will pick up the protection, but there's only really a few seconds left, so it's not going to do itself justice for what they had to do. But actually, it's worth a little bit, but in the end, does get taken down. Wenger does clean up Avik, and then manages to pick up the Mega in the process. Heavy segregation, or the heaviest really, between the heavy and the Mega. RAVE does manage to get another. Now up by 5 frags. Going to make that 6 once he cleans him up on the light, and just needs to try and stay alive. And Wenger still somehow valuing his life, and this is what's been so important. Not only is their aim skill and collapsing on their opponents has been massively improved comparison to the first 2 maps, but also valuing their life a lot better. Wenger finally taken down after a huge feat and be able to distribute so much damage across the map.
We're going to need a big power up from Endpoint coming up next.
Yeah.
That lead is starting to gradually grow. Still managing to get the damage out and manage to keep the pressure going. We've got another rotation of items though that's going to be essential as we move into this next power up. There's another exchange. Taking a bit of his nicely. Can he hit a rail? Finally strings on together. It's relatively even at this point. Kills with that kill on RAVE. Have they secured themselves position at this point? But Avik's low. Kilson's not doing too badly. I think we're going to go and listen in quickly and see how the players are setting up.
Come on.
You take. Yes.
Quad spawn.
Waiting for them.
I'm shielding you.
Just heavy now. I'm going nail. Stroke that.
Stay down.
I'm good. Checking Mega. I'm going water.
One banana. Dead. I'm going back to
He
rail.
can be real. He can be real. Don't go first. Don't go first.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Good job. I'm taking armor below.
Nice. Heavy next. Take heavy.
One machine gun.
Come to me. Come to me.
Coming.
1T.
Just falling into his hands, really, it feels like. They just appear in his
much.
crosshair, and then points are scored.
And look at the score difference now, 40-30. Made it 41-30 with that trade coming out. And yeah, just a monumental difference. Finally, not only establishing control, but better setups for these power-ups, and the value in their life run has been so impressive over the last 5 minutes. And the timings as well has been impeccable. Even with the lost timings of the heavy earlier, still able to grasp a rough estimate of when it could be and set up for it. So it's been very, very important. And it looks like the labs on Endpoint have seemed a little bit lost in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, RAVE and Wenger have just been super tight with their aim, with their fights. I love how they're maneuvering between the major items and closing down on Endpoint. With 4 minutes to go, surely it's a map 5 at this point. Endpoint need everything to go perfect.
They certainly do. Kilson does take down RAVE. Still got about 3 minutes 40 left on the clock. Heavy's up, and Kilson's going to be grabbing that instantly whilst approaching the Mega shortly. That's it up, they're up in 5. But Wenger takes down
Hit
Avik.
him
Kilson
hard
got
and hit him fast.
the kill onto RAVE with their little scuffle there, but Mega is still available. It's actually been up for about 5 seconds now. It looks like
don't think they don't want to lose.
Go T junction.
They don't want to lose position though.
Yeah.
That's what's really important. It needs to get back up, needs to go for a challenge for this protection. I think it's just been taken actually. Is that Wenger who's crazy, who has it on Kilson? Kilson was in position for so long, but I think he fell off at the wrong moment. And he's not been able to get it. This is enormous now for Myztro. I see no way back at this point. No way back whatsoever.
Literally impossible at this point. This gave Wenger the protection that Heavy is having a field day at the moment. It's actually RAVE still getting the kills.
Get him.
And Wenger's just acting as cannon fodder and now still managed to get the frag onto Avik. Only
One
one
more.
left remaining to tie this series up. And Wenger's just looking for that 50th kill in order to end this map and go into the 5th and final map here in this series. It's been absolutely crazy in itself, and it's been still trying to avoid
What is this damage?
Kilson still managed to take him down. Kilson actually manages to get 2, but yeah, the clock is ticking.
It's a bit late to wake up, guys. Oh, there we go.
There we
Raising
go.
heavy machine gun brings them over to a map 5. Avik and Kilson enjoy a lot. Let's find out. Let's just find out. At the moment, we've got 3 Athenas, which is going to change, guys. Don't worry at all. Athena hasn't been banned, though, so it can be selected. And we are getting Athena Slash from both teams here in map 5 of this second winner bracket semi-final.
This doesn't surprise me because it's arguably 2 of the best champions in dual format and Blood Covenant. So the fact that we're seeing it here in 2s, let's see how it goes.
And it's a good job you don't pick Visor against these, because I think you get walked over quite hard just with the amount of mobility they have. And mobility reigns supreme a lot of the time.
It certainly does. Doesn't matter how much mechanics you have. Yeah, that Visor's only going to do itself justice in a certain amount of ways. It's Avik trying to get as much done with the heavy machine gun. Didn't do a lot, but that was a huge rocket coming up. I mean, just left on 80 HP, gets away, picks up the Mega. And it's a nice early start from Endpoint, but you can see a couple of missed rounds coming up from Myztro, as they do take them a little bit more, but the main thing is that Wenger did get the cleanup.
Avik has got the rails. He's got loads of weapons at this point, actually. He's looking really good. He's defending the rail so that Myztro can't get onto it as easily and landing great damage. There's the heavy armor. Kilson picking out Wenger at that point. Ooh. Oh, he doesn't want to die. He's got so many weapons there, but he's going to fall. He had so much to work with just then. It's 3-4. And we are sub 10 seconds away from the quad. RAVE takes down Kilson. Can Avik do anything? There's a telefrag. There's a telefrag. Who picked it up? It was Avik got it in the end. How has he changed the situation to benefit him? That looked like a lost cause at that point, but the telefrag coming in, changing the game. He has got hooks if he wants to get himself a bit closer and swinging on by. Well, I think one of them was down at the teleporter there just a moment ago. But where are they? He needs some information from Kilson.
Oh, he still manages to get away. He gets 1 frag, but didn't maximize the potential with that quad, but the main thing is they denied it.
But it's the setup for quad. Somehow Avik comes in with like 2-3 kills just during that period. That's ridiculous.
Again, an illegal situation which just should not realistically happen.
I would have bet my house that Myztro take that round.
I thought you were going to say something else. I was going to say, yeah, your house is gone.
Yeah, I did, and I lost
No, we bring clowns to this party.
But Kilson gets 1, Wenger gets the trade with the heavy machine gun. Avik can now really find to see if there was anything to clean up. But he still had not a bad stack, but Avik's on 53 HP now, dropping down to 17. Stuck in that stairwell, but Kilson came in just in the nick of time to finish raising up with that heavy machine gun. And now Kilson's quite heavily stacked. A good rail and prediction. They knew was going to try and go for the rail straight away. Good deny, but trying to stay alive on that heavy staircase and manages to get RAVE.
He left a rail on the floor there. I wonder if Myztro benefited from that at all, but they got control of that position regardless, so probably a moot point. Heavy up next. A couple of seconds away, and then it's going to be rushing over to protection. Great rail shot.
Incoming protection.
Heavy did just get taken. And it looks like RAVE is setting himself up. Oh, sorry, is that Wenger, I'm afraid. He's up on the top. That rocket, can it connect? Hello, can we take him down?
She's been so annoying, so annoying. And it's not a position we don't see anyone use really, but finally manages to get the clean up. And now he's going to hit the rails. Oh, he's actually going, oh my goodness, he took quite a fair amount of damage from that.
He's just slipping away completely.
Yeah, you don't really see many people taking a lot of damage from the trail, but...
Oh, it's the protection though, so...
Yeah,
so
exactly, it doesn't matter too much. Still, yeah.
It might have done a bit more if he decided to trigger the trail though.
Yeah, yeah. We'll make this up in the next second, and Heavy will follow suit in the next 12. RAVE does take down Kilson. That's going to be a huge kill for that Mega, and now trying to contest Heavy if they can, but they're going to be backing away again. Actually, you see the guys on Myztro trying to deny the rail. Tiny bit too late.
Avik just seems kind of on lock at the moment. He's playing amazingly at the start of Blood Covenant.
Yeah.
You got Kilson with a rail shot, which is always something that's good to see. He can't lock in those last two shots to finish the job, but Avik will be there. Trusty, reliable Avik.
Yeah, always there when you need him most, but he actually misses out one of the players whilst he's holding the ground. 2 health bubbles, but to be expected. You're not going to check up every single angle going at that pace. But some good rockets, good damage coming out from Avik here. Having to take that last rail, very important rail from Venga to stop Endpoint with such a ridiculous map control, which they could have potentially had and continued maintaining afterwards. And Kilson is vulnerable as he's going up, and again, a very important rail coming out from Venga.
Very surprised they was pushing into that. Guys, moving into the second quad, we are able to go in for a team listen and see how they set up.
Wasting him time. Can you take? Yes. Going Mega. 1 balcony.
My house, my
8 is Mega. I'm restacking. Slash nail. Dead. Do you know where he is? Nope, nope. Okay, 23, 8. Okay, very good. One breach, rails. He's fun. Yes, nice go ahead. Other 2. Rushing Mega. 1 LG, 8 is Mega.
Well played. This is a great comeback from the lads at Myztro. A huge potential come up with that quad, and now RAVE is just flying at the moment. His aim skill contributing it as well, complementing things further for this team. And considering how far behind they are now, just down by 3, trade did come out from Avik, and he managed to get an important double.
I mean, after that quad, I feel like it's game on here in the deciding map. What a series we've had on our hands so far. This is a brilliant way to finish things off. Can Myztro keep things close? They have said in the past that they feel weak on this map, but they are still showing some decent form. But it's Endpoint that they're chasing. 6 kills between them, and the Endpoint players are slightly weak at the moment. We've got Heavy coming up. Venga's got the better position. That's a good take. But
what's the matter?
Kilson is hitting this rail this time.
Certainly is. That was huge coming out from Kilson. Game-changing in fact, with the Mega coming out now, and both items are segregated to the pretty much at its maximum, and we've got the potential coming up in 20 seconds as well. How is Myztro going to hold these angles? But then again, Avid's coming in from behind. They're looking for a collapse, but it looks like they were committed to Kilson. Avid did finish off RAVE. Good call from Kilson saying how much damage he actually distributed onto RAVE. But are they going to be able to stop it? Are they going to be able to somehow, some way contest it? Get the protection? No, they are not. That means Avid will be able to take it, and Considering his stack's not the greatest, it's still going to be plenty for that protection, technically equivalent to 400.
He should find a way to get into them. He has essentially a starting stack as a light, but it looks like they want to go for the map control a bit more. RAVE does push in. He might be regretting that in a second. 29 to 20 as we start to say goodbye to protection. We're going to be finishing over on the pillars. Venga's there. Protection has now faded, but there was just that early damage which helped AVEC out. AVEC's been, as I said already, incredible on this map. He's always there, always able to support Kilson, also when he's in his own fights. And AVEC pushing in from below to get onto the heavy. Crazy with a nice push there onto AVEC, onto Kilson, sorry, and then Venga finishes off AVEC. Are we going to get that turnaround now? We need that comeback to start materializing itself.
They're going to need at least 2 power-ups at this point and as much item control as possible. They've got the timings. See if they can contest this next quad later on a little bit better than they have done in the previous 2 power-ups. Heavy will be up shortly. And it looks like, I wouldn't be surprised if Myztro would attempt to hold on to a larger stack so we can go into the quad later on, but RAVE does get a good kill to Kilson, but again, AVEC always there for the trade.
It felt like a bit rash, that push. Not sure if that was necessary for them. We've got a rail exchange. He really needs to find a way to health up. Mega looks like it will go the way of Endpoint. We have got a heavy spawning 2 seconds before the power up, but I don't know if we'll get to that point. Let's go back in and listen to the teams and see how they set up. This is a very important power up.
Oh, fuck, got me.
Quad
Cannot
spawn.
have. I got heavy though, 5.
Enemy has the
Do you have timings on anything? 30 was heavy, it's gone. I don't know about Mega. Mega now, 30 and 16. I'm still available. Maybe bridge. Here is clear. LG probably, I'm playing for heavy. 1 MVP, 8. Such is that. Yeah, let's go for Mega after.
Hit that hard
Okay.
jump.
1 bridge. Going rail third. Nice.
From above.
Rail Diafino. I
Ah!
can't go up.
He can't get his rockets to work, but Venga's got himself a kill. There it is, they take control of the Mega Health right in the last fading moments. I don't think they took the item, but they got the damage down and they've managed to retain good amount of health themselves. They have brought the frag difference down quite considerably. It's not like we saw some crazy quad kills or anything, but we're down from 10 a difference to 5 a difference.
Now, even though they couldn't find Endpoint at all in the slightest, the main thing was they managed to establish full map control. They got the timing back on the items once again, and now they can try and keep them on spawn and denying the weaponry. Follow suit. Good rail coming up from Venga. Good support coming up from RAVE there with that heavy machine gun backing away, trying to restack from that last engagement. This is going to be so important here. Now only down by 3. They were down by 8 at one point.
He's got pressure from several sides over here. I don't know if RAVE can pick up this heavy anymore. Is there going to be... Oh, the brutal rocket from AVEC. And Venga's going to fall back at pillars with the Mega Health. Is there going to be a push from Endpoint to try and get some control over here? You can see Kilson from the side, but oh my god. AVEC just darts in there. And we're still getting these double rails. Endpoint working in unison so brilliantly. Protection up in just a moment. Myztro are desperate for this. Venga has just died. Brazy's on the sidelines. He gets 1 kill. He gets 2 kills.
To trade.
And that must have been Venga who's picked it up in that case. Absolutely critical. He's got the heavy machine gun, so he can get this frag onto AVEC. Surely without too many problems. Now he's got the rail. He really sort of needs a rocket for those super close range engagements, but he doesn't have any hooks available to him. That is a bit of an issue. That really reduces his mobility quite considerably, but AVEC, oh my god, the hook just in time. Protection's about to fade away. RAVE does get that important one-on-one.
And you've got to take into consideration as well, there's only 1 power left on the map, and it's going to be the quad, and it's going to be very important for whoever gets the quad for the partner in crime to feed the info and to keep flipping the spawns if they even get the opportunity to. Good rail from RAVE. Even though he doesn't deny the rail, at least he's done enough damage to maybe make something work in the next few moments.
Venga is critically wounded at this point, and there's no Mega Health for a long time. Awesome rail shots. RAVE trying to alleviate some of that pressure. And just edging over towards that heavy armor, but it has just been taken, so not going to get much from it. I think Wenger managed to apply a bit of pressure to it. RAVE is probably calling for Wenger to pick up the items at the bottom of the pillars, but it's too late. Someone from Endpoint has pushed in. He needs to get that kill quickly. He takes one rail for it, which is one too many, really. Through the teleporter. A lot of pillar control that we're getting. Oh my god, he's railable. Needs to be incredibly careful over here. Wenger's taken down Avec. Heavy is up. The LG, but Kilson still takes it. Mutual frag at the end of it. We are 3 a difference here. The climax of Blood Covenant, the climax of the series. 15 seconds till the quad appears. There's 1 versus 2 over here for Wenger. Can he take down one of them? Kilson dies.
Should have ducked.
Quad
Still needs
at
to push him
5.
forward though, because Quad will come out any second now. Gets a few rockets, but he hasn't got any more rockets left. And RAVE does take down Avid. The Quad is available, but he hasn't really got much HP. But he's going to see if he can try and make it work. Mega's up in the next 5 seconds. He's deciding to prioritize it. Perfectly understandable. Do not want to give that Quad to your opponent. The Heavy still hasn't been picked up yet. It looks like they're just making sure they can, or at least they burned it now. So if they do get taken down, the main thing is that they've got the timing of the Heavy, and they will be denying it for Endpoint. But listen, he can't get a huge amount done there. Does get to end the kills and almost find this game. It's left
1
on
HP.
Oh! Gets cleaned up by Avec. He's only get a few seconds on this quad, but gets away with it. Look, he's only on 13 HP. Myztro trying to get away. 45 seconds left. 2 frags in it between the two. How is Myztro going to try and come back? But this is Avec comes up with his grapple, takes down RAVE. Now, 3 frags between the two, done quite a bit to RAVE. He's just trying to back away and recuperate himself. And when he hit with the rail, yes, he does. That's going to be an awful way to potentially end this for Myztro.
They got 25 seconds. Those kills need to come in quickly. RAVE does manage to pick up 1, but Kilson there on the exchange. 20 seconds to go. We have got 1 Endpoint player. Is pretty weak. Kilson, he is going to fall. I think I saw possibly Avec on the staircase a second ago. He's just running away. Wenger looking for the rail shot. We've got seconds to go. 1 frag between them. RAVE, I think he's found a player. He's found Kilson. There's the kill. We're tied up with half a second to go.
As if he managed to get away with that as well. Literally 1 or 2 tenths of a second, and we are going to go to sudden death.
1v2.
Makes a takedown, Avec hitting it as well. That's absolutely ridiculous. And RAVE is still continuing his warpath. But let's think about things. Mega has just come up. He's now looking to try and deny the rail. Already picked up the rail. LG's him. And now Myztro up by 1 frag. And it's obviously not going to go to the time limit. Look at how things are going so far. We could be seeing a stalemate here and trying to slow things down. But some good weapon denial straight afterwards. And now we can push on forward once again as RAVE needs to go forward. Protection up in 1 second. They need to try and go for this now. But RAVE just standing his ground, noticing that someone's on the field, dropping down straight away as Avec does take down RAVE, all tied up here, Zoot.
We're 48-48. We are protection on Kilson. He has got the light armor to work with. Is he going to look for a push at this point? It is Heavy spawning in just a second. Avec takes him down. We are 49-48. Can he find the final one to lock it? Well, they're trying to get away. Endpoint. RAVE, what can he do over here? The rockets to land something. Hit, no, please. We're 49-49.
There was absolutely no way he should have got away with that. Those missed rockets.
Crazy!
Manages to win it for Myztro, but that Heavy staircase situation, they should have won it there and then. The reverse sweep for Myztro into sudden death, 50-49. You could not make it up. What a showing there from Myztro.
I don't even know what happened. I think we got Inns with us. Hopefully we can hear Inns in a moment.
It was just that frag on the Heavy staircase. That should have been it. That should have just ended it all. And the amount of damage he did with that LG on Nail